Hi, welcome to Voice of Feathers Tarot. If you clicked on this video, I want to say thank you. I do hope that you'll stick around, and I trust that there will be a message in here for you. I've been pulling some cards already, so I'm getting a lot of different energies actually, and I feel that the best way to sort of untangle them is to simply start speaking about them and just getting straight into it. So what I've got at the center of your reading is the Emperor card. So I'm getting someone of an authoritative nature here. This could represent a masculine figure in your life, or it could represent you. I'm getting something here about like an emotional distance, maybe between you and a masculine figure. The reason I'm saying that is because crossing the Emperor, I've got the King of Cups. So sort of like it's a situation where there's definitely love there, but there's almost like an emotional distance. With the King of Cups and the Emperor here, I'm getting this is sort of like a father-son duo, perhaps. So that could resonate with somebody. And what I'm getting is that there's a reconciliation trying to happen energetically, and I think this is coming up for the Leo season in particular. I'm actually getting between now and November, so sort of stretching out a little bit further past Leo. But what I'm getting here with the conscious influences is the Five of Swords reversed. And yeah, I'm getting reconciliation here is on the mind, like the need to sort of like repair a rupture in a relationship. But I'm getting that it's sort of like a difficult, it's like a difficult conversation, or there's some sort of like ego involvement that is making this reconciliation difficult. And yeah, I'm getting strongly that this is a father-son or father-daughter, or could be grandfather-daughter, uncle. Just take it as it fits for your situation. But yeah, I'm getting like a male authority figure. And there's been a little bit of, like I said, like a little bit of a rupture in the relationship. For the past influences, I've got the Four of Cups reversed. And what I'm getting from this card is that what is now apathy and despondence and like I said, an emotional withdrawal or distance, there used to be like quite an involvement. And I don't know about the goose in particular on this card, whether this is true for this species, but I was hearing something about with some bird species, the fathers have a very active involvement. And so that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a situation where a father was very actively involved in the upbringing of his child, and something has happened to rupture that, okay? But what is wanting to happen here is a reconciliation. But there's a little bit of resistance towards that in the unconscious with the Hanged Man in reverse. So the Hangman typically represents like seeing things from a different vantage point or perspective. It can represent sacrifice. It can represent like epiphanies and downloads from spirit. What I'm getting here is that like any downloads from spirit are sort of like being a little bit ignored or suppressed, and perspective taking isn't necessarily happening here on a conscious level. So there's a little bit of resistance here towards reconciliation, even though it's coming out in the cards. Interestingly, I've got a very interesting card in the forthcoming. So I've got the King of Wands in reverse, but in this deck, the Tarot of Mystical Moments, there's both a male and a female king. So this is the female King of Wands in reverse. And this is talking about like a dominance, a reluctance, and an uninspired direction. With this being the female King of Wands, I'm getting that uh, maybe what's happened here is that the rupture that has happened has something to do with a female. So this could be like a female family member, a spouse, or just anybody relating to one of the two people in this situation. Okay, so they're coming in the forthcoming influences, and in the reverse, I see this as sort of like someone having a bit of an influence over a situation that probably doesn't actually involve them, or it might involve them, but it's sort of like it's none of their business, right? Um, whether this reconciliation takes place or not, but for whatever reason, they feel like they need to have an oversight or an influence over it. So I think that if there's a resistance towards reconciliation, um, this could be between you and another person, or this could be somebody else in your family. Maybe there's some tension going on between a family member and another family member, or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm getting there's an external influence from a feminine or a female, is what I'm getting. Doesn't have to be, but just the fact that it's the female King of Wands coming out, it makes me feel very strongly. And just with the color red being highlighted there as well, for some reason I'm getting like, I don't know, I'm seeing like, I'm seeing something about a wedding. So take that as it resonates. It could be conflict over a wedding or something like that happening. But yeah, there's some sort of female influence that's causing a bit of a rupture between family members here. So the advice is a tricky one. Okay, so we've got the Tower card coming out as the advice, and this is going to be hard for you to hear if this is you going through this. Um, it's saying that you might need to come in and deliver some harsh truths. You might have to risk uh, destroying the relationship in order to actually heal it, because what I'm getting here is that it's almost being, there's like a house of cards. Basically a house of cards has been built around this relationship, these two family members who've had a rupture in their relationship, and it's no longer going to up be able to be upheld, is what I'm getting. um the reconciliation wants to happen, it wants to happen for good, and that's why things like that faulty foundation needs to actually come down for that to happen. Excuse me. That's what I'm getting. um so the external influences is justice. So what I'm getting is that I think there's been like a karmic cycle playing out in this dynamic, and it's for some reason the astrology is right, or the weather is right for this to be healed. So with justice coming through, it's like now or never, really, to balance the scales once and for all. And really, I don't know, this a legal situation could be implicated as well. Like I said, I was picking up something about a wedding before, so the legal implication could be related to a marriage. Take that as it resonates. But yeah, I'm getting that whatever the force of justice is in this situation, it's going to be the catalyst for that tower moment where the tower comes crashing down, and things have to be rebuilt from a place of stability. And I'm just looking at the Emperor card, which was at the center of the reading, and his hat is this really sort of solid building that he's wearing on top of his head. It's that wants to come through. It's that wants to be established in this dynamic. But it's going to take a sacrifice of potentially destroying the relationship for it to be rebuilt. But I've said that enough times already. For the hopes and fears, we've got the 10 of Wands. So the thing that is keeping either you or this other person from basically having a conversation that would lead to reconciliation is that either you or them can't really handle any more burdens right now. And so you've just been delaying it. All the while, that foundation is it's crumbling away. So I totally understand like that feeling of not wanting to address the thing because you just don't have the energy for it, or just feeling like totally overburdened by it. But the hope here is that in releasing some of those burdens, maybe it's like getting something off of your chest. That's where we can start to see real growth in this dynamic, in this relationship. For the outcome, we've got the Three of Pentacles. This is about collaboration. So I think this is a really good card to come out here, especially since I was getting sort of like a triangle of influence. So I'm seeing ultimately there's a rupture between two people, but there's an influencing party. So that was the female King of Wands in reverse. I see these three people ultimately coming together in a state of remembrance, which is what I'm getting with the poppy here. Okay, so something to do with like remembrance, and it could be around Remembrance Day, which is the 11th of November. That's why before I was getting between Leo season and November that this is going to play out. So for the outcome being collaboration and basically rebuilding, I see this as a really, really good thing. So for you, what I'm getting is that this has come through as a forewarning that some difficult conversations and maybe even some conflicts might arise in the next couple of months between you and an authority figure, or if you're the authority figure, you and somebody that you're connected to. I want you to know that if these things happen, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's painful, it's ultimately trying to be a force for reconciliation. And I think that that's a really, really positive thing. I see like new memories being made together and just like a beautiful new painting being formed where we can actually let the past pains and hurts go and have a new understanding of one another. So that's what I've got for your reading. I hope that whoever that was meant for got the message and that it helped in some way. And thank you if you've stuck around this long. I'll see you in the next one.